It's week 2 of the NFL season and the second edition of Martin and Monaco. I said week 2, not QB2, which several teams in the NFL are going to see this Thursday, Sunday, and Monday. We'll dive into it next. Alex, how you doing, my friend?
I'm off Texans -2.5, so I did not get my 8 hours. How are you sleeping over there?
I've been having such a great time not betting games, just picking games. Just picking games is great. When you lose the money, it's the worst. I don't know how the Denver Broncos did not cover the the 2. It was ridiculous. I picked it, but I lost it. It was most absurd thing I saw all weekend.
It's much better to pick it like you said. Then I'm going from steak in New York City in Midtown to pasta, and I don't cook. So it's like these bets are swinging, and last night we had 2 games, thank goodness, because my boys down there in L.A., the Chargers took care of the 3.5. But, wild swing, so much to discuss. Can't wait to get into it, all things week 2.
I have a bonus Chargers take, which I will debut at the end of this episode. But now it's time to welcome in our producer, Roddy, to set the table for today's show.
All right, guys. Yes, let's set the table. First topic you guys are going to be going for today: Joe Burrow. He's going to need surgery for turf toe. He's going to be out for at least 3 months. The team reported. What do you guys think about this?
Honestly, I'm starting to sit here and go, I really hope these side-by-side Andrew Luck graphics all over the X, almost said Twitter. It's starting to get scary, Martin. I mean, I joked, I threw this up. It's like they built their infrastructure like they're playing Madden, like in their dorm room. Like, let's just pay T. Higgins a wide receiver 1 money, and let's not work on the infrastructure of what makes good teams great. You don't have an offensive line, you can't go anywhere. This dude is so banged up. If he's missing 3 months and we got to watch Browning, it's so much bigger than just this year. But we know the Bengals to not be very sound up top with management. I'm sad for the kid because we're like years plural away from this guy saucing Mahomes in the AFC Championship and getting to a Super Bowl. And now we're just worried about, can he even play?
First of all, turf toe is the injury most in need of a rebrand. Turf toe is incredibly painful. It's incredibly painful. It hurts. And look, 3 months for Joe Burrow. He's out for 3 months. And his turf toe, it sounds like he got hit his funny bone or he has swimmer's elbow. Right? No, turf toe needs
100%.
If I said instead of turf toe, Joe Burrow needed to have surgery on his TCL, everybody would be like, oh, okay. Oh, that's serious. We got to take care of this. This is a major deal. Here's the thing with the Bengals and Burrow and his health. Yes, he's been knocked out of seasons. Some of this is his own fault. Joe Burrow is a big-time hang-on-to the ball, want-to-throw home run guy. And sure enough, we see the home runs hit. T. Higgins and Jamar Chase, you know it. F it, Jamar's down there somewhere. We see the home runs hit. But what you don't see all the time is as that camera goes with the ball to traveling 40 yards, is Joe Burrow getting pounded by a defensive lineman. Right? That is consistent and continuous.
So you would say that it's almost it's equal here. If he goes Brady with it, quick 3-step drops, get in, get out, we're not in this scenario. But because he holds on the ball, like it's twofold. So I'm looking at like Zach Taylor then, who's got to tell this guy to stop trying to go for the home runs, because you do bring up a good point.
It's not just the home runs, though. You just close your eyes. Think about it. When's the last Joe Burrow highlight you remember under center? When's the last Joe Burrow highlight you remember that came off of play action? It's all shotgun. It's all 3-by-1. It's all they do not run the ball. They do not play action pass. They don't do any of the things that other NFL teams do to protect their quarterback. And as a result, their quarterback, who did not have injury issues in college, did not have injury issues in high school. In fact, he played safety in high school and was out there hitting people, right? And is a real football playing type of guy. Not fast, but likes to run, likes to play football, likes to get hit. He has now missed had several season-ending injuries, it's in part because he doesn't get rid of the ball fast enough, and they don't protect him in play calling.
Ironically, Martin, we're sitting at 2-0 here for this club. They're plus money right now, depending where you shop in the sportsbook world. Are you, with 3 months of Burrow out, are you backing him? Are you fading him? You're going to sit back and watch?
I am fading them like a barber on a Friday with 8 heads in line. No chance. I was fading this team already with Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow played MVP level, and this team didn't make the playoffs last year. Jake Browning, I'm sorry. It's Jake Browning. It's not God.
I'm just disappointed here as we segue out that we're just being robbed as fans. This is like an L for all fans. This is a top 5 quarterback, and now we're out, dude, because to your point, he either holds on to it or he can't avoid injury.
Next up, guys, JJ McCarthy, quarterback for the Vikings, looked pretty awful on Sunday Night Football as the Falcons blew out the Vikings, and he's actually now been ruled out for Week 3 at least with an ankle injury. It's a high ankle sprain. What do you guys think going forward for JJ McCarthy?
You know, this is the trouble with JJ McCarthy being a Michigan alum and having only lost 1 game in his Michigan career. I, no kidding, thought JJ McCarthy should have gone back to college when he came out of the draft. I said, listen, there's 7 quarterbacks coming out that are, at the time I'm thinking we got 4 of them potentially first rounders. I would go back to college. It's not because I was a big Michigan fan. It's just because J.J. McCarthy was a guy who always played with the lead. He played with an elite defense. There was 22 NFL players on the team that J.J. McCarthy was the quarterback of that went to that won the national championship. 22 NFL players. The problem with the NFL, with him and the Vikings, there's 22 NFL players on the field at one time when he steps out there, right? It's not the level of competition is raised very high. Being hurt his whole first year made me worried about it. The thing that caused me the most concern was not even what we've seen thus far in the first 2 quarters, or first 8 quarters of his NFL career. It's the fact that Kevin O'Connell was on the phone with every other quarterback under the sun but this offseason, trying to find anyone to come be the backup. That gives me a big cause.
So are you sitting here saying if Carson Wentz comes in and is serviceable, maybe even a little better, let's say the Vikings they rip off 3 wins in a row, are we again going back to another Darnold scenario here in Vikings land where we're sitting here going, dude, let's just rock with Wentz. Let's not act like this guy wasn't MVP caliber that one time at band camp. But on all seriousness, I really can't tell if this McCarthy dude, through 2 games, it's like Jekyll and Hyde. Week 1, is that more on the Bears' onus on D, or is that more on what you saw in college? Because it seems like he's got the competitive element, and it seems like he's focused, and it does seem like he is all the things you want a quarterback to be. But, Martin, if you're going 11 for 21, 2 interceptions, God knows how many fumbles, Kevin O'Connell's too McVay-esque to sit back and not plug and play another guy.
Well, this is the reality of the situation. This is going to sound crazy. Kevin O'Connell's job is on the line here. And this is the reason why.
What?
This is the reason why. The Vikings had more regular season success last year than they had in the last 5, right? That team, I know that they were a wild card team. In any other division in football, AFC included, that team would have been the 1 seed, right? That team was Super Bowl ready. And you let Sam Darnold go for 3 years, $100 million, because you said you had a better option in your back pocket. If that option does not work out and you have this roster, which again, remind you, in any other division in football would have been the 1 seed, and you somehow miss the playoffs or struggle to make a wild card, your job is on the line, buddy, because you know how many playoff games Kevin O'Connell has won? 0.
I hate to say, now that we're talking it out, you got a thought there. But, oh, by the way, they let Daniel Jones go too.
That's the problem. You see Daniel Jones, what he's doing in Indianapolis, that's a tough sell to a guy, again, Kevin O'Connell, never won a playoff game.
All right, guys, next one. Russell Wilson threw for 450 yards and 3 touchdowns against the Cowboys this past weekend in a narrow loss. What do you guys think?
Russ, that was such a quintessential Russell Wilson back against the wall game. He goes, throws for a career high in yards. That's going to be the trivia question of the century. Where did Russell Wilson throw his career high in yards? It'll be his last year playing football. It'll be for the New York Giants.
Great trivia.
The conversation going into this game was, is this Russell Wilson's last start ever? And for him to come out here and perform in this way was not quite good enough because he still threw that interception in overtime, which still made it be, I would still put the over-under at Russ starts at 4.5 and take the under for the remainder of the season. But
come on,
Monaco. They were sending in Jackson Dart with the plays like it was a college team in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, those were run pass options. A little NCAA, toggle off to the fun formation for a couple, and then he almost cost him when he slipped. But I'm sorry. I sit here, I watched that, and I was on the Giants with the points. I was also on the Jets with the points. I knew I was going 1-1 against the spread. I didn't think I'd be sitting here thinking that the Giants were the cover. Dude, we're talking about some of the worst prevent defense. Who sat there and called prevent D against that offense with under 20 seconds left? Mind-numbing decision when the front seven was smothering number 4, Dakota Rain, all afternoon, dude. That is Russell Wilson. To your point, to a T, Martin. I'm telling you, this Giants defense is going to keep these boys in every single game. You hold the Commanders to 21 on the road, and then you go down to Jerry's World and almost cost them 0-2. Dude, I think you got to be a little patient with Russ. I am licking my chops at the over for the New York Football Giants. I think people are sleeping on their style of play. Dude, him and Neighbors are a real connection, my man. Come on to the dark side.
I'm definitely not going there. I work too hard and too long to put my well-respected green American dollars on Russell Wilson in the year of 2025. No chance. I do say this, though. I do kind of like they're over, but I think Russ will be out of there shortly. Once Jackson Dart is starting and they have the ability to run their offense more, because think about it like this. I'm sure you watched every snap of that game. How many quarterback draws and read options were they running with Russell Wilson that were 2-yard gains? Right? Because Russ was not getting tackled.
Right. His escapability is a little brother. Brutal. Here's what we did talk, the three of us, last week that almost looked like it came to fruition is starting pitcher, middle relief. Do we dare put Jameis in the mix out of the bullpen? Bro, can this Giants team of all teams go with 2 quarterbacks, do I dare say 3, game to game like that? Russ is such a rare bird where his ego is not involved, where Jackson Dart comes in, runs a read pass option, doesn't upset him, doesn't do anything. Is that not in the conversation after that shootout against the Cowboys?
Absolutely not. The last time Russell Wilson had a game like this, Brian Schottenheimer was his offensive coordinator in Seattle. All right, it's been so long since we've seen this out of Russell Wilson. I remember watching Russ just a few short 7 days ago, week 1. And a season ago in Pittsburgh. We will not see another. Russ won't throw for 325 yards for the rest of the season. Like in a single game for the rest of the year.
I've never felt better about a team so disrespected. To put a button on it, and we'll come back in a month. They do find disgusting ways to lose, which is very much on Dable. I got a lot to say about Dable for another day. But if Russell Wilson can be competent, if he could just be what he was a little bit, they're going to win ball games, my man. I'm telling you.
All right, fellas, next up, Mac Jones played well in the 49ers win over the Saints in Brock Purdy's absence. He threw for 279 yards and 3 touchdowns. They got a relatively easy schedule, one of the easiest in the league. A, how many more games do you guys think they win over the next month? And B, do you think this means anything for Purdy's future with the team?
I think Purdy's future's set. I think you pay a guy like that, patiently waiting to pay him, you're going to rock with him. But this, I mean, Martin, this to me, again, is what Shanahan does best. I don't want to give him that much credit. He's a quarterback whisperer, but he's just so good at scheme. Injuries all over the place, and he just puts his quarterbacks in position to just do what they do. And Mac Jones is just not going to go out and win a ball game, but he can manage a ball game. And yes, it was low-hanging fruit against your Saints. They covered the 3.5. They win by 5. But, I mean, with Arizona and Jacksonville in the next 2 weeks before they got the daunting Rams and Bucs on the road, I think if it's a 2-2 next month and you're sitting at 4-2 with Mac, you're happy and you're content. In lieu of what Ian said, it's just a cupcake schedule all season. You can afford to drop a couple with Mac, but I'll go positive here. I mean, if he's going to be surgical like that, this is a defense that can make a play, that can put this team in spots. And as long as he just doesn't blow it and do the boring things, manage and not turn the rock over, I'm kind of up on this team. I certainly think they're beating Arizona at home this week.
I certainly don't think they're beating Arizona at home this week, but I do agree with you in that if you can have your back, just as a blanket NFL statement, if you can go 500 with your backup quarterback, you're going to take that every time. You will take that every single time. You can go 500 with your backup, you'll take that every single time. So I agree that would be optimal for San Francisco. I also think it's a reasonable goal. I wonder this. We have seen at this point now, like 8 different starting quarterbacks for Kyle Shanahan in San Francisco. I agree with you. His scheme seems to be, if you can figure it out, if you can paint by the numbers, you'll be able to go ahead and create masterpieces with Kyle Shanahan's scheme. I wonder if his scheme also puts players at risk. Like, all these quarterbacks have gotten hurt playing under Shanahan consistently. And the thing that, I mean, watching that Saints game, I think the Saints are going to be a little better than the national media thinks that they are. I don't think that they are. I don't think the Saints are in contention for the number 1 overall pick. I think they're more in contention for the number 5 overall pick, which I get it. We're talking about degrees of suck, but like the Dolphins are terrible, okay? like they're degrees of suck. So I think the Saints are a little better than expected. So I was not surprised to see them compete in that game. My biggest takeaway from watching that, there's no way that Mac Jones is $265 million worse than Brock Purdy.
Wow.
There's no way. Brock Purdy making $265 million. He's not $265 million better than Mac Jones.
Okay, let me throw this to you then. They rattle off 4 wins in a row with Mac Jones. They've won now. They're 5-0 with Mac Jones. And you're Kyle Shanahan. Are you giving the rock to the backup?
No, because you gave the check to the starter. Like maybe last year that could have worked. Maybe 2 years ago when it was Darnold, you gave the check to the starter. So Brock Purdy will be the starter when he comes back from injury. However, what you did do, if you go 500 in this situation, Mac Jones will be first in line for the 2027 Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback competition.
I'm going to go throw up.
All right, last one, guys. Aaron Rodgers. I just want to get your guys' take on where you are with him, because week 1, 4 touchdowns against the Jets, no interceptions. But this past week he looked a lot worse. 2 interceptions to 1 touchdown pass. What do we think about Rodgers, in or out?
Well, I can't bail after I go on New York TV saying I'm backing the Pittsburgh Steelers to go the promised land. And if the rookie running back, gentlemen, could read the manual before he gets his license, I mean, what are we doing, dude? I've never seen a worse play in my special teams life. I don't even think this is on Rodgers. If you're sitting here telling me he's got a 97 QBR through 2 weeks, 5 touchdowns, 2 picks, that's not on Aaron Rodgers staying on the 1-1 Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm staring directly at Mike Tomlin, politely asking him to take off the sunglasses and address the room. And when I say room, I mean defense and the young kids on campus. Because that is how you lose a locker room, a play like that. I would cut the kid if he wasn't a first-round draft pick. Get on my Aaron Glenn. We'll see you.
It was a second-round pick, but either way, you're not cutting a first-round, second-round, third-round. That you got to be I feel you.
I'm hot. I'm sorry. I'm seeing red right now.
Well, the thing is, of course it's not Aaron Rodgers' fault. All you have to do is listen to his post-game press conference in which he said just how great of a kid Calvin Austin III was. Cal's just such a great kid, but, he's just running the wrong route, but a really great kid. Just a great kid and comes from good parents and a good family, and he got all A's in school, and he was on the honor roll. Just a great kid, but he ran the wrong route. I'm worried. I'm worried in a way I have not been worried about the Pittsburgh Steelers in years. I thought that it was going to be more status quo, just more Pittsburgh win 10 games, go to the wild card. And I thought maybe the best case scenario of this would be Aaron Rodgers and Mike Tomlin could win a wild card game. Both of them get pounded, the heads pounded in by Kansas City, Baltimore, Buffalo in the second round, and then go ahead and go on about their days, right? And then Tomlin can go somewhere else where it would be more appreciated, and Rodgers can go do podcasts and take horse tranquilizers and run for vice president, right? That's what I thought was going to happen. 2 games in, Rodgers is taking way too much damage. They made the Jets look really good. They made the Jets look so good. They were one of my upset alerts to beat the Bills last week, okay? They made the Jets look really good. And without a Jalen Ramsey hit stick on Garrett Wilson, I wonder how that game even ends. This Pittsburgh team is bad, and to your point, watching Caleb Johnson watch that ball go over his head, they're not buttoned up.
I will say this. The next 4 quarterbacks they face, Martin, Drake May, Carson Wentz, Joe cul-de-sac quarterback Flacco, and Jake Browning, who doesn't have a Madden picture. If they don't go 3-1, I'm walking off set. This should be where they hit their stride. And if you look at the numbers of Tomlin teams that give up 30, the following week they're buttoned up. I'm staring directly at, again, a team that needs to look inward. They have it. I really feel like they have it. But they got to play Pittsburgh Steelers defense or they're smoked. And they have to at least try to run the football. But I'm going to slam the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Patriots off a win in a back-and-forth versus the Dolphins, and we'll come back to base camp, and hopefully they're 2-1, my man. Don't bail on them yet. Don't give up on me yet.
I'm not bailing quite yet, but I do think that team will be 5-2, and I will have them squarely in the back half of my power rankings.
All right, fellas, let's close things out with a little game of buy or sell. I'm going to bring a few storylines to the table here from around the NFL world, and you guys are going to tell me whether you're buying or selling stock in said storyline or player. Let's start with this. Daniel Jones stock after his hot start to the season. What do you guys think? Buy or sell? Martin, we'll start with you.
I am selling this penny stock as fast as I possibly can. I'll remind you quickly, Week 2, 2024, the New Orleans Saints led your NFL in both total points scored and total offense, and then went winless throughout October. Culture better than that, but I'm selling Daniel Jones.
I got to buy. I am disgusted. I aged like a politician watching this dude in New York over the last couple of years. I'm sorry. It's scheme. It's fit. It's a low self-esteem quarterback room post Andy Luck, and Steichen is sort of a savant with scheme. I got to buy in the most disgusting way, like a mandatory present during the holidays type buy.
All right, speaking of New York quarterbacks, well, Jones was, Justin Fields stock after he followed up his big Week 1 performance against the Steelers with a complete dud and a concussion now, so he may or may not play in Week 3. What do you guys think, buy or sell, Martin?
I'm selling, again, I think the Steelers made the Jets look really, really good. I don't know. I'm worried about the New York Jets offensively, especially after watching Justin Fields get that concussion. But even before then, it looked like he was throwing with the wrong hand.
I'm going to buy. I'm buying the dip. All right, you got a bob and weave on the market. I could not get Justin Fields at a better price. I mean, he went 3 for 11, I think, for 27 yards. I went 3 for 11 for 27 yards on Sunday. But Buffalo's that team that if you get off to a rough start against them, they steamroll you. We've seen it too many times under Allen. So I'm going to remind myself what week 1 was. I'm going to nibble on the dip.
All right, next up, Bengals. The Cincinnati Bengals stock after Joe Burrow's injury. Now, keep in mind, they are 2-0 heading into week 3 here. So what do we think? Buying or selling stock on the Bengals? Alex, we'll start with you this time.
I'm going to buy. I mean, I live wagered on 2-1 on the money line for the Bengals. Jags are not incompetent this year. Subtly well coached. I think they can win games in different ways. The only reason I'm buying is because Burrow's coming back. Can Jake Browning go 3-3 and give this dude a shot? There's one guy to come back at 500 with a month ago. It's Joey Burrow.
That's the problem. I'm selling. I don't think Joe Burrow's coming back. I think it says 3 to 6 months now. And I think we really will see Joe around 12 months later from now. I don't think we're going to see him. And I think that even if he comes back and plays at an MVP level, we've seen that movie before. Just last year, they still missed the playoffs. That defense needs work.
Next up, guys, Travis Hunter's stock after a slow start to his NFL career. What do you think? Buying or selling the Travis Hunter experiment? Martin, what do you think?
I'm selling, and it has nothing to do with Travis Hunter himself and everything to do with the Jaguars and their commitment to this Frankenstein-level experiment, which is going to be a disaster. It's too hard at the pros physically to do it, and also just to technically master the skills necessary, the fundamentals necessary at the pro level to be able to play multiple positions at a high level. Right now, what the Jacksonville Jaguars did with the number 2 overall pick is they drafted Cole Beasley in the slot and Rams Marcus Peters at cornerback right now. So, unless they figure out just to do one or the other, otherwise it's not going to work.
I'll rock with you. I'll sell because I don't think he's going to flourish on both sides. We kind of saw it. He's already been picked off a little bit on slants. They kind of are finding where he is defensively, and he's not stopped a couple of third downs. I do think he can be successful as a wide receiver, but as far as the two-way dance, he is not a Charizard. I'm selling.
All right, next up, Bryce Young stock. He just threw for 328 yards and 3 touchdowns in a loss to Arizona. What do you guys think? Former number 1 overall pick, buying or selling Bryce Young right now?
I'll buy. He drives you a little crazy. As an under 6 foot man, I have a soft spot for also other dudes at 6 foot or below. He just seems like it's there, then it's not, then it's there, it's not. There's something there, and I think Canales can work on it. He has had a lot of turnover to his young career. You have to provide stability for a guy like this, and that's just not because he's 5'10". I gotta buy here. I think they're going to be more competent and a fairly good cover when they're getting points like that.
Yeah, there's something there. It's 5 feet tall. I'm selling. Bryce, this is the thing you left out. Oh, he has a lot of turnover in his career. How about the 2 turnovers he had to start this game, and is why they started in a 10-0 hole. That's how you throw for 300 plus yards and 3 touchdowns and still lose, because you spotted them 10 points by turning the ball over twice in the first quarter. Bryce Young will continue to be too small for this league, and it's just going to be the remainder of what it is. Even in the most perfect situation, even if you had Sean McVay as his quarterback, as his coach, and Kevin O'Connell as his coach, Matt LaFleur, whatever, I still think at best it will be a struggle for him to make it in the league, and he definitely does not have anywhere near optimum circumstances.
That's fair.
Ashton Genty and Omarion Hampton stock after the top 2 running backs in this past year's loaded running back class, supposedly. They've had pretty slow starts to their NFL careers. So what do you guys think? You buying or selling your Genty and Hampton stock?
If it was fantasy, I'm selling. Real life, I'll buy. Genty had a nice little run. He shook off 2 dudes. It was a hard-earned 4 yards. I think they'll find a way. That Chargers front 7 is menacing, smothering. So I give them some time there. Hampton cannot fumble the ball when they're trying to close up shop. That's why they got the insurance with Harris. I'll buy him in real life. I'll sell him in fantasy.
I'm buying Genty. Every time he touched the ball last night, it was sparks. Like, he didn't get very far. He didn't do very much. But every time he caught the ball and took one or two steps, I was like, oh, this guy's got real juice in his legs. He might be able to do something. And they seem to be very committed to getting him the ball, right? After week 1 and week 2, Pete both said, we need to get Ashton involved. Hampton? This is a Jim Harbaugh team. They want to run the ball. They want to run the ball. And in the fourth quarter, Najee Harris was getting those carries until Hampton came in for 1, and it was a fumble. And then Najee Harris was right back out there. I'm selling Hampton.
All right, another rookie, Cam Ward stock after their loss to the Rams, but he did have a pretty viral highlight where he had just an insane touchdown pass throwing across the field to another rookie in Alec Iomanner. So Cam Ward, the Titans overall stock, what do you guys think, buy or sell?
I'm buying in a big way, Martin. I think this dude has a lot of ceiling to get better with. They have no offensive line. Tony Pollard's their run game right now with Spears on the IR. He did the Cardinals sin. He threw across his body, East Coast away. He threw a rock from my zip code to your zip code for a touchdown. I got to buy on that.
I'm buying Cam Ward too. I will say this. That throw, if he can make that throw consistently, more power to him. I never want to see him make that throw again. Generally, that's I'll put it like this. That's going to be a touchdown for one team, right? Someone's going to score, but it may not be you. I am encouraged with what I've seen of Cam Ward throughout his young career thus far. I don't think he has a lot of organizational support, structural support around him, but he seems to me to be a guy who's going to be able to play in this league for quite some time if he can stay healthy.
All right, last one for you guys here. Philadelphia Eagles stock after beating the Chiefs, but the way they did it was a little controversial. They used a lot of the tush push, which we'll see if it's banned after this season. But what do you guys think? Stock up or down in the Eagles, buy or sell?
I'm selling. Jalen Hurts hasn't thrown a pass between 10 and 19 yards for the entire season. A.J. Brown is going to move into the library. There's not enough books on the sideline for the lack of touches and targets that he's been getting and the lack of attention that he's been getting. This all works right now because they're 2-0. If Travis Kelce caught that ball at the goal line, if CeeDee Lamb didn't drop that ball after the rain delay, it would already be a problem in Philadelphia. I cannot imagine this is successful because nobody's doing well here. Saquon's not eating. No one's doing well. They're just winning. And so as soon as the winning stops, everything else falls apart.
See, I got to buy for all the reasons you said because they're still 2-0. Nobody's eating. They don't even have their offense flowing yet. But this is what good teams do, Martin. They find ways to win. I mean, the fact that Chris Jones is chirping Jalen Hurts. This is the Super Bowl beer pong rebuttal game, and the Chiefs lay an egg with a garbage time Thornton touchdown. Get out of here. This team's going to find 19 different ways to win. I don't care if A.J. Brown's reading in the library. They're going to keep stacking up W's. They're just that team, man. I hate them, but I got to respect them. I'm buying.
Quick note, Tom Brady, thank you. Thank you very much. Him calling out that false start on that broadcast, mark my words, hear me now, believe me later, will be a point of clarification the rest of the year. And in competition committee, guys, hallelujah. This is the last year we'll see the tush push. This is the last year.
I need it. We need it. I can't watch it. You can't even execute this virtually, dude. Can we triple sell the tush push? It's exhausting to watch, dude. If I wanted to watch rugby, I'd move to New Zealand.
So I said I had a surprise, sneaky Chargers take. After 2 weeks, folks, I'm telling you, Jim Harbaugh is going to do everything in his power to make Justin Herbert the most valuable player in the NFL. And I think you can get good odds on it now because he can't be in the top 4 of odds or top 3 of odds just based off of historical. But if you look at what you've seen through 8 quarters of football, it's going to be hard-pressed to find a quarterback not named Josh Allen playing better than Justin Herbert. And if the Chargers win the West, I'm telling you now, that's going to be your MVP of the NFL.
I'll co-sign on that, and I'll add to it. 8-1 to win the AFC, 17-1 to win the whole dance. Martin, you know this dude in year 2 is real. We know it. And now we got Madison Beer helping our dude on all things non-Sundays.
Well,
I'm in.
Not just that. I do think it's big for Justin Herbert that he has a girlfriend. It proves he is, in fact, a real person and not a cyborg. That Chargers defense, we talked about the Broncos defense being the best in the league going into the season. And sure enough, you got a DPOY in Surtain and a potential DPOY in Nick Bonito. That Chargers defense might be the best in football.
Martin, I think the way that you framed that with Jim Harbaugh doing everything in his power to get Justin Herbert the MVP, I think there's something to that. Because if you look at the way the Chargers have been playing, all Jim Harbaugh has been known for his entire career, whether it be college or NFL, is running a run-first offense. The Chargers are throwing more than I've ever seen a Harbaugh offense throw before. So I think there's something to that. He wants to get this for Justin Herbert.
And look, all it took was for me to draft Omarion Hampton in my fantasy draft, and all of a sudden Harbaugh forgot to run the ball. But listen, on the back end, I'm going to go ahead and make the entry fee. I'll bet on Herbert MVP, and so then I'll come out even. But, you know, if you didn't make the same mistake I did in your fantasy draft, you can still cash in on the MVP vote. He's trying his best. And just think about the narrative. Think about Week 13. I don't even know when the Chargers play the Chiefs again, but I assume it's somewhere down, in the later half of the season. Later half of the season, he knocks the Chiefs down to a wild card. Come on, dude. That's going to be your MVP. That's going to be your MVP. You want to give it another one to Josh? Another one to Lamar? No. Justin Herbert and that pretty smile and that long hair, that's your MVP right there. Chalk it up.
All right, that does it for Martin in Monaco. Episode 1, Week 2. Ian, Roddy on the 1s and 2s. We were talking McCarthy. We were talking a little Russell Wilson, and of course Joe Burrow with the toe that Martin renamed as a much important new kind of injury. Plus buy or sell. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, review on the Martin in Monaco show. We'll see you next week.